So when they told me that my son could be autistic, I didn't want to hear that. I didn't want to hear it. I prayed for him. I fought against the diagnosis. It was very clear to the doctor, I think, from the very first time I met her, that I didn't want any labels for my son. So I fought it. I fought it hard, but at some point, I just had to accept it so that they could put in place the support he needed to go through primary school.
For many parents, that moment is real. But what happens after the fear? After the questions? After the uncertainty? Some of the most powerful stories find us when we're not even looking. A while ago, on World Autism Day, I came across a post on Facebook by someone I know. She was celebrating her son. She was sharing about his growth and his journey. And what struck me the most was the fact that she was sharing from a place of gratitude. So I thought to myself, if she can so openly talk about her son, then many parents need to hear this. That was how today's conversation began. Today, we're talking about raising a child on the autism spectrum, not from a place of limitation, but from a place of growth and hope. And I'm so glad you're here to share your story. I'll take you back to the very beginning. When you noticed something was different about your son, what were the early signs? And how did that make you feel as a mother?
So there were quite a lot of signs when he was around 1.5, 2, from when he started walking. We noticed that he was walking on his tiptoes, he would flap his hands. He would arrange his toys just vertically, just a straight line. And then he did a lot of echolalia, that's where I asked him, "How are you?" And he says, "How are you?" He wouldn't be able to hold a conversation. So my mom was like, "Don't worry, he's a child, he'll outgrow it, don't worry, everything is fine, he'll talk later, don't worry, we're not really concerned about it." But then his health visitor, every time he comes around, she will always say, "Does he always do that?" She would just watch the children and she'll be like, "Does he always do that?" So that's where I started looking, what's he doing? What's different? What's he doing? Because it was normal for me, but then she will always, and then she said, "Then I think I would like to refer you." First it was to get a hearing test, because at the time you call him, he would not even respond. He doesn't respond to his name. I think the first thing they did for us was to refer us for a hearing test, which he passed with very flying colors. Oh, guilty, and then several different other people had to come in before we got to where we got to eventually.
Interesting. So those early signs for you, did you attach it to anything? Did it mean anything to you? Or were you suspecting anything?
For me, no. I didn't suspect anything because I didn't have any experience I didn't have any neurodivergent experience before. So I didn't think of anything. I just thought, maybe he's just a boy. I have girls before. Maybe this is just how boys, this is why I was my first boy. And maybe this is just his own way of expressing himself. I was a very hyperactive child, but it wasn't a worry for me because my mom was around at the time and she wasn't concerned. So me, I wasn't concerned. I wasn't concerned at all.
And then the moment of clarity. Can you walk us through when you received your diagnosis? Like, how did that make you feel as a mother?
Oh, the diagnosis, it was a journey. We had several appointments with the doctors, with the the speech and language therapist, nurses. Several people came to the house to see him, came to the school, they went to his nursery to meet up with him. But every time, they always said the same thing, They always said he's not meeting expectations. I think he was 4, and they were saying he was working at a 2-year-old plus 2 years plus socially and some other things like that. So it didn't make me very happy, of course. I wasn't happy about it. And I was just concerned about his future, really. I was just worried about his future. I mean, no parent wants. Personally, I've always prayed that none of my children will serve the other one. That they will excel in in their various endeavors. So now, for him to be exhibiting this, and he's the only boy in the house, of course, I was worried. I was really worried. I was concerned.
One of the things many parents struggle with is not just the diagnosis, it's the fear of what people would say. So, ma'am, at the point, were you afraid, were you worried about what people would say, what people might say, the label, the stigma around? Were you worried about that?
No, I wasn't really worried about what people would say. I just believe that the most important people in his life understand him, they know his capacity, and they know what he can do. I was never ever worried about general people, because I feel like, life is hard enough without putting that extra pressure on myself and on the boy. I was worried actually about how he will be perceived, bullying. Children can be very mean, and I was just worried because the young man is such a soft boy, emotional, soft young man. He doesn't even, even if he hits you, it will hurt you. So I was worried about him being bullied in school. I was worried but generally how people perceive him now, that was not a problem to me. No.
Okay, your few worries, at what point did you rise above that?
So when he was moving from primary to nursery, primary is a controlled space. There are lots of teachers to support. Now, in primary, when you're going out to play, you're playing, primary 1 is playing with primary 7. So it's a much wider world. I was really concerned about that. And I want to thank God for the school. His school, where he attends, they put a lot of support in place because they understood my concerns, and they put a lot of support in place for him. I came to school and he's calling everybody's name, hello. But the person I'm even worried about, he's not worried about, he knows everybody. Everybody's his friend. He's just like that. He goes everywhere. He goes somewhere and everybody knows him within very, very quickly. So at some point I just had to relax and say, God is in control. God is taking control.
True. Oh, wow. Interesting. Now, for parents listening right now who might be going through this with their children or with the son, with the daughter, can you walk us through some of the practical things you did that supported your son's growth? Because like I said, when you were sharing about your story, you were sharing from a place of gratitude about his growth, about his journey. So can you walk us through some of those practical things you did that actually brought him to this stage where you're no longer worried? You see him as every normal child. Can you walk us through some of the practical things?
And I give him room to express himself. So he could be, at some point, at a time in his life, he was very clingy. I never made him feel like, oh, go see your mates, your sisters. No. He wants hug, I would hold him. I give him what he wants, but I supported him. He led and I followed. Basically, I did child-led care. Whatever he wants at the time, I give to him. I made him know that I was always there for him. I minimized childminders and strangers coming around him. I just tried to make him know that I was there no matter what, irrespective of what he was going through. I think my being there for him was actually very pivotal to him overcoming some of the challenges that he had when he was much younger.
Oh, look at him, an intentional mom there. She was very present, very present. In fact, she just shared with me some of the sacrifices she's making just to ensure that, she's there for her children. She's there with them all the way. And that's a huge sacrifice. And that's what motherhood is all about, okay? But the thing is, it's a process. We're not seeing all the process she's going through until when the children become what God wants them to be and what she really wants them to be. Then we'll see the results. And at that time, we're wondering, how did she come about it? But she's making the sacrifices now. So parents, we need to be very intentional. Remember, that's always my word. We need to be very intentional with the way, we raise our children and the way we bring them up. Love, but something is very important to me. I've always meant to ask you. I volunteered in the children department maybe about 2 years ago or something. And in the class of about 25 children, I was told that your son, this wonderful boy we're talking about, is the only one that could read in that class. And the teacher went ahead to write things on the board for me, and then he read them. And I was like, wow. In fact, for me, it challenged me because I had a child who was not 5 yet, and I was like, oh, when you get to this age, you must be able to read. What are you talking about? So can you walk us through some of the things? Was there something you did particularly that helped him achieve that or attain that height, or it was just something that came as a strength,
For him, I think it was a strength for him in that it was later I observed that he was a visual learner.
Oh.
So he learns from what he sees. Now, one of the things I did for the children growing up was that I didn't allow algorithms to choose what they watch on Facebook or Beautiful. So I would always make sure they are watching alpha blocks, or they are watching number blocks, or they are watching one of these worship songs that we had when we were growing up. I make sure they watch them, or they are watching a few selected stuff on Cocomelon. Those are the things they watch when they were growing up. Now, I noticed that this young man, when he's watching a cartoon and they are doing, maybe they're saying, clean up, and people are cleaning up, he too will stand up from your scene and he start cleaning. His sister will watch it, clean up. But him, he will stand up.
That's it.
He's cleaning what they're saying. So then I observed they are doing alpha blocks, so A plus N plus T. You come together, and that's how that boy learned how to read.
Wow.
That's how that boy learned how.
Wow.
And as a young boy, you know how a child is crying and you're like, okay, don't cry, let me sing for you. For Timer, it was 2. I said 2. He will still be crying. 4. He will still be crying. At some point, he will say 6. The next thing, he will say 8. He will say 10. We moved from a 2 times table, went to 5. Sometimes I'll just snap these videos, then I'll send it to his nursery. And I'll be like, this boy keeps amazing me. I don't know. It's amazing me. And they'll tell me, even in school, he's amazing us too.
Wow, look at that.
So I think it was a strength in the fact that he's a visual learner.
Oh.
But what I exposed him to, what he was watching on TV, also helped it.
Oh, wow, fantastic. There must be something about it. If you want to learn about the types of learners, in case you as a parent, you don't know the type of learner your child is, there are actually 3 of them. I have a video in my YouTube channel. You can scroll down to check. I've talked about the types of learners. There are visual learners, there are audio learners, there are kinesthetic learners. And that's very beautiful because you identify that very early and you were able to help him nurture that. That's beautiful.
What's the boy?
Oh, come on. That's very good. Now, let's talk about the part people don't always see. You live with him, you stay with him, you spend a lot of time with him. Now, can you talk us through some of the things that you notice about him that are unique, that is not open to the outside world, like things that he does uniquely, things that you just love to see that he does that is personal to him?
So one of the things that he does that I think is really nice, especially in this world that's filled with hate, is that every time he goes outside, he sees somebody, especially when he's his mate. Hello. If you see somebody that's African or somebody that's dark-skinned, you'll be like, are you Nigerian?
Oh, man.
Are you African?
Oh, so sweet.
That's it what he learned. Are you from Watutu? Oh, yeah. Yeah. He doesn't kind of that.
He's such a cute boy.
He doesn't he's such a beautiful boy. Though there's really nothing not to love about a young man. And it's so fortunate that he has this label that's gonna follow him, He's kind. If he sees anybody crying around him, you go and give the person a cuddle. He doesn't hit, he doesn't believe. One of the things that really stood out for me out of all the meetings we had was when we were having a meeting about him. And I think it was his speech and language therapist. She said to me, he doesn't have a violent bone in his body.
Oh, man.
And for somebody to say that kind of thing, it's different when I say it. But when somebody else is saying it, So, those are the things that we saw about him, and I just know that he's a very special child, very, very special.
Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, I can feel the emotions in the air. Such a kind and loving boy. You need to see him. He's such a lovely, lovely, gentle boy. And finally, if a mother listening right now to a mother listening right now, what would you advise them that have a son or a daughter with a diagnosis? What would you advise them? What would you tell that kind of a mother who is going through that phase? Theirs might not be as clear as yours now. They might still be struggling with some of the, deep things. But what will you tell them? What message you have for them?
There's something you said. You said theirs might not be as clear as it is for me now. If I knew what I know about my son now when he was 2, I wouldn't have worried as much as I worried. Okay, I wouldn't have troubled myself as much as I did. What will I say to them? I would say, watch your child. Nobody knows the child as much as you do. The health visitor, the doctors, and advocate for the child. I remember there was an occasion where this boy I'm talking about, and saying he was doing so well, reading and writing and all those things from nursery. He got to primary 1 and they sent me a report. It's an interview report they sent it to me, and I looked at it. I told them, this is not my son's report card. It's not possible. This can't be his report. I said, even his nursery teachers will not accept this report. I remember the assistant health teacher called me and she was trying to convince me that I said, I understand what you're saying, but I don't accept this report card. And I said to her, if you want me to come in, maybe you don't know how to get him calm. If you want me to come in and sit with you for this assessment, I'll come in, but I will not accept this report. And they went and reassessed him and came out with a better report card. So advocate for your child. Watch the child. It's quite unfortunate that in this environment that we have, we don't have a lot of support, and so you might have to, delegate the child to be watched by somebody else. Maybe once or twice, or out of necessity. But as the time the child was spending with you, watch that child. Get to know their strength, and based on their strength, what worked for me might not work for you, because my son is not the same. No two children are the same. But watch the child. Look for things that you tailor to the child based on their strengths, not based on what people are saying, but based on the strength of the child. And at the end of the day, God will come through. The things I also did much earlier, when I was really, really concerned, was that, Jeremiah 1:5, for I know the thoughts I think towards you, the thoughts of good and to give you an expected end. I just told myself that God knew this boy. No. I think it's before he was formed in your mother's womb. Yeah, I think it's that one. I just told myself God knew this boy before he was formed. And I have this. My name is Odinakachi. It means that I'm in the hands of God. I've always had this superior complex so God cannot just give me a problem. And I also believe that children are a gift from God. So hold God to His word. One of the things I did, as I was going to say, was that, when they take a child to church for dedication, those prayers that were prayed over him, I took note of some of those things and I continue to declare into Bangy Boy, And he's 7, or he's going to be 7 now, but some of those things I began to see them. So pray for the child. Tailor things, activities around them to their strengths, and God will help.
Oh wow. That's such a loaded advice. For every parent going through this, we've heard it all. Strength. Check. Look for your child's strength. Don't let that child take over everything. Become worried. You're worried, looking for solution here and there, but you are not focusing on the child. She spends time with the child. She focuses on the child. You heard when she said that. Even when the child is not saying anything, she knows what he wants. She has observed him that much. So that child probably needs more of your attention. It needs more of your time. So parents, let's do this. And she didn't leave out prayer. Prayer is important. You pray on that child. You pray your child into what you want him or her to become. For every child, actually. So when you now have a child with a diagnosis, it means that you have more work to do. More work to do. And you heard what she also said, that she doesn't want a child to beg from another one. She doesn't want one child to be inferior to the other one. She wants them to succeed all at the same level. And I'm sure as a parent as well, you want that for your children. So pray for the child. Look for the strength of the child. Pay attention to the child. This is not a child where you begin to live and delegate to people all the time. you need that time for the child, for that child to become that which that child is supposed to become. And parents, don't forget, the fact that the child is diagnosed with the spectrum does not mean the child is a write-off. No, it doesn't mean. Do you have anything to say about that, ma'am?
I just remembered something, but yeah, being on the spectrum does not mean that your child cannot become anything in life good. I don't believe it. Every child has a unique gifting in him or her, and everybody blossom. Even flowers, they blossom when they are loved, when they are cared for. So care for your child. I mean, look after the child. Don't say, oh, because of this. No, don't do that. As a matter of fact, my girls, they believe that my son is my favorite child. It's not true. It's not true. But it's just because of how I'm so in tune with the boy. I'm always watching for little signs and little stuff here and there. So every child, God has a plan for every child. But one thing I wanted to say was this: diet. The child's diet was, somebody introduced me to how at some point I had to introduce my son to gluten-free diet and only organic. So when I want to buy fruits and stuff, I only buy organic because of him. And his milk, he doesn't take it doesn't take cow,
The dairy milk.
animal, any animal milk. He doesn't take. He only takes. So I streamlined his diet to help him manage his behavior and all that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's one of another thing that helped. I forgot to.
Wow. That's very good. Diet as well. So you see what diet is also doing. Maybe one of these days we have somebody talk about diet. Somebody come on the show to talk about diet. But see, diet is also very important. That was one of the things she did to also make sure that she helped her son, overcome it. And please, also, I'm leaving this message. Don't let us label any child. Any child you see with the spectrum, you see with the diagnosis. You are not a parent that should now tell your child, don't play with him, don't go near her. No, don't let us label children. They are all unique in their own ways. And children who have diagnoses also succeed in life. They do great things in life. So please don't let's label them. I hope you are really, you've taken something very important out of today's show and today's program. And I must say a very big thank you for coming through, ma'am. Not everybody would like to share their story, but she's here to share it just for you parents so that you will learn and take something important away. So please, let's take all the vital information she has taken and then let's walk it through our child. And I believe that God would definitely come true for you as well. Thank you so much for coming on the show, ma'am. All right. Thank you for joining us today. Bye.